Rosala was a picture of grace and elegance, beautiful, classy, and exuding an almost angelic charm. Known for her quiet and demure demeanor, she had once shared her heart with Maurice, a flamboyant, arrogant man born into wealth. Their relationship had started like a dream, but the end was a quiet, painful unraveling. When Maurice left for his master's program abroad, days turned into months, and months into years. His calls stopped, and emails ceased. Rosala, ever patient, sent letters, hoping for some sign of life, but he never replied. The silence was deafening. One day, while scrolling through her phone, Rosala stumbled upon a picture of Maurice with another woman, a white lady in a compromising position. Shock and betrayal consumed her. She commented under the post, hoping for an explanation, but Maurice ignored her message while responding to others. Rosala was devastated. Her best friend, Cassandra, became her rock, helping her crawl out of the pit of heartbreak. Slowly, she began to rebuild herself, determined to move on. In the midst of her healing journey, Rosala ran into Watson, an old schoolmate. Watson had been the most handsome and intelligent guy in their department during their university days. Rosala had nursed a quiet crush on him back then but had been too shy, perceived as the church girl. Now, years later, they exchanged pleasantries and phone numbers. Watson was not wealthy like Maurice, but he had a warm heart and a sharp sense of humor. He made Rosala laugh in ways she hadn't in a long time. Over time, their friendship blossomed into a romantic relationship. Watson's genuine care and grounded personality drew her in, and she found herself falling deeply in love. Maurice was nothing more than a distant memory. A year into their relationship, Watson proposed. Rosala said yes without hesitation, thrilled at the prospect of spending her life with a man who truly loved her. As Rosala prepared for her wedding, news reached her that Maurice had returned to the country. She shrugged it off, confident in the love she had found with Watson. But Maurice wasn't done with her yet. One afternoon, as she returned home with her wedding dress, her phone rang. The number was unfamiliar. When she answered, her heart skipped a beat. It was Maurice. His voice was just as she remembered, deep, commanding, and intoxicating. Against her better judgment, she agreed to meet him, intending to tell him face to face that she was getting married. Maurice insisted on meeting at his house. Despite her reservations, Rosala went. She didn't want to involve Watson in what she believed was a simple closure meeting. Maurice's mansion was grand, a testament to his wealth. As Rosala entered, he signaled for her to come upstairs. In the living room, he offered her a drink, but she declined, eager to get straight to the point. She handed him her wedding invitation. "I'm getting married, Maurice." "I thought you should hear it from me," she said. Maurice's laugh was chilling. "Marry someone else." "Not while I'm alive," he sneered. His arrogance hadn't waned, if anything, it had grown. Before Rosala could leave, Maurice grabbed her arm and dragged her to the basement. "You're not going anywhere," he hissed. "You belong to me." He locked her in the dark, cold room, burning her handbag and phone to ensure no one could trace her. Watson and Cassandra were frantic when Rosala didn't return home. They contacted the police, plastered her picture in newspapers, and searched tirelessly, but there was no trace of her. Meanwhile, Maurice's obsession turned darker. When Rosala continued to reject his advances, he decided she was no longer useful. Instead, he planned to use her for a sinister ritual to renew his wealth. Rosala pleaded for her life, but Maurice's heart had turned to stone. Starved and weak, Rosala grew thinner by the day. Maurice left her in the basement as he traveled abroad for an important meeting. He believed she would die before he returned. But fate had other plans. While Maurice was away, he received a call that his mansion was marked for demolition as part of a city redevelopment project. The following day he quickly booked an available flight, to ensure Rosala's body was moved out of the mansion. Workers arrived with bulldozers and began tearing down the structure. As the debris piled up, one of the workers spotted a finger protruding from the rubble. "There's someone here," he shouted. The almost lifeless body of Rosala was pulled from the ruins and rushed to the hospital. Maurice, unaware of what had happened, was delayed at the airport. By the time he returned, his mansion was reduced to dust, and the police were waiting for him. He was arrested on charges of kidnapping and attempted murder. Rosala slowly recovered from the horrific ordeal. Her strength and resilience shone through as she healed, both physically and emotionally. Watson stood by her side throughout, proving his unwavering love and devotion. Months later, Rosala and Watson had their much-anticipated wedding. It was a beautiful celebration of love, resilience, and new beginnings. A year into their marriage, they welcomed a baby, their joy a stark contrast to the nightmare they had overcome. Rosala's story became a testament to the power of love, hope, and the unyielding human spirit. Though her journey had been fraught with pain and betrayal, she emerged stronger, surrounded by the people who truly cared for her.